and that is the Untold Edition Clubman. So as you see it here, right on your screen, it is a Clubman, which is our 6-door model. This edition is going to come as a Cooper S or a Cooper S All 4. And actually our most popular Clubman variant, the John Cooper Works Clubman All 4. Now, just to do a quick walk around to some of my favorite features of the Untold edition is firstly the body color, sage green metallic. Sage green can be found on the body color as well as the roof and mirrors. This is the first time that we've seen sage green on the Clubman, and it fits the body style elegantly. Now, it's not just on the body and it's not just on the roof and mirrors. We're going to see it throughout the vehicle. One of the things that I want to point out here is the cladding or the spats, which is the plastic trim around the bottom of the car. It goes underneath the doors and around the wheels. That's also at the bottom of the front and rear bumpers. Now, on any other Mini, Clubman included, that area, those spats are normally matte black. In this case, they're actually color matched sage green dark. And when I say color match, I don't mean just simply painted. It's actually dyed to match the car. And that's something that we have never done at Mini before. So super exciting to see some new ways of customizing a Mini. Now, as you heard before, brass trim is definitely popular amongst designers. And so we have refined brass found on the wheels, on the grille, other accent pieces on the outside of the vehicle, as well as on the inside. And actually, you can't see it in this image, but when you look at the back of the Untold edition, the Clubman lettering is all done in brass as well. Now, I want to actually kind of show you some highlight images of my personal favorite features. So let's zoom in a little bit on the bonnet stripes that also goes over the roof of the car. So the bonnet stripes are actually 5 individual stripes with stripes within them. And the pattern that they create actually reflects light in a very unique, cool way. On the right-hand side, you'll see a close-up of that refined brass 18-inch 2-tone wheel. Now, of course, refined brass is one of the tones, the other one being jet black. So in between each spoke, you will find jet black, which really sets off this wheel nicely. This also gives us a close-up glimpse of that cladding I was mentioning, which will also be found in the side scuttle, which is where the turn indicator is, just above and to the left of the wheel in this image. That is a 3D printed part with the Untold Edition stripes and logo, which is the relief letter U. And that a little bit of an Easter egg, you're going to find that U throughout the design of the car. Some of my other favorite features on the front of the vehicle, I want to mention the aero kit. So regardless of which engine you choose, whether it's the Cooper S All 4, or the JCW, you will have the JCW aero kit. So it's our sportiest looking Clubman that we can possibly make. This also gives us a nice glimpse of the refined brass on the grille surround and the grille blade, which is that horizontal bar. Now, on a JCW model, that's not an addition. Typically, that blade is chili red, and you would find chili red throughout the car in other places. But it was pretty bold of our designers to keep the uniform look of the Untold edition. So even on a JCW model, it would be found sans red. Instead, you would have sage green or refined brass in those various areas. And also looking at the inside, as you're stepping into your car, you will again find refined brass on the door sills with a similar stripe design as we saw on the bonnet stripes and in the roof stripes. And that also continues on to the floor mats, where you'll find the hidden U emblem as well. Now I want to show you an expanded view of that interior. So this upholstery is very cool. It's the Mini Yours lounge leather in sage green. So again, that exterior color is now coming to the interior. And that's not the only place you see it on the interior. So if you look at the dashboard, the interior surface, which is the trim that goes up and around the dashboard, that's also done in sage green. And while your eyes are there, make note of the refined brass treatment on the air vents. So again, connecting the exterior to the interior. And lastly, I just want to mention on the steering wheel, you'll have that Untold edition letter U with the brass accents on the 6 o'clock spoke. All right, next up, we have the Resolute edition. So the Resolute edition comes on the 2-door, the 4-door, and the convertible, all as Cooper S's. Now I want to do a walk around on the Resolute edition as well. So starting at the very top of the car, pepper white roof and mirror caps definitely complement the Rebel green body color. Now, of course, the convertible wouldn't have the pepper white roof because it doesn't have a roof. So in that case, you would have a black canvas top. So the Rebel green paint is typically a JCW only color. Now, that would mean, to me at least, that it's the sportiest color we have. Now, I think it looks very appropriate on a Cooper S, very sporty car, and it also complements the pepper white and the Resolute frosted bronze trim as well. Now, looking at the lower part of the car, we have the 18-inch Resolute spoke wheels. That is an 18-inch wheel, all in jet black, matches some of the black treatment you might find on the inside and outside of the car. And it has this pulsating design that goes from the center cap all the way to the outer edge of the wheel. Now, looking a little closer at the front end, you'll notice that frosted bronze trim around the grille and also around the air intake ducts for the brakes. In addition to that, you're going to find on the headlight rings, the taillight rings, the fuel filler cap, the door handles, the side scuttles, and the Cooper S badge on the rear of the vehicle. And also, what's a Mini without some cool bonnet stripes? So these bonnet stripes here also have bronze and gold treatment, and it also has some stripes within the stripe to kind of create a new texture. And that follows to the inside when looking at the door sills. So the door sills also have some of that same stripe design, reminds you that you are entering your Resolute edition because it says Resolute in case you're not sure which one of your Minis you're jumping into. And the upholstery actually has this really cool vintage gold bronze tweed design that matches the exterior color scheme. So again, let's take a look at an expanded view of the interior. So the interior surface in this case, which is right there in the center of the dashboard on both sides of the dash, have a lot of the same designs that you saw on the bonnet stripes. And again, on the steering wheel, the 6 o'clock position says Resolute in case you don't know which Mini you're in. And lastly, I do want to make mention here. Now, there's a lot of different flavors to have the Resolute. So if you want a BEV, you can actually come in and get a Cooper SE in the Resolute edition. Now, the major difference here with the Resolute is that, or with the Resolute Cooper SE, is that the wheels, instead of featuring the 18-inch pulse spoke in black, you have the 17-inch aerodynamic mini collection spoke. And next up, we have what I would say is my favorite of the special editions, the Untamed edition. This is found on our most capable Mini yet. It's the Mini Countryman. It's found on a Cooper S or a Cooper S All 4. And similarly, let's do a quick walk around of this vehicle. So on the top of the car, you have the roof, the mirror caps, and the standard roof rails in black. And that matches the Momentum Gray body color quite nicely. And now, speaking of Momentum Gray, this is a brand new color for Mini. We have never seen this color before. And not only is it on the body, I'm going to point out a couple other places throughout the car where you're going to find some hints of Momentum Gray. All right. Now, looking at the doors, you're going to notice the graphics there. We have 4 stripes. All of them are in frozen bluestone matte. Definitely complements the exterior color and adds to the ruggedness of the Countryman. And the cladding around the bottom of the car are going to have some inserts of Momentum Gray. In addition to that, you'll also have the Mini wings, front and rear, also in Momentum Gray. And probably my favorite part of the exterior are these 18-inch Untamed spoke two-tone wheels with the polished face and black inserts. And looking at some of those details, we'll see again on the left-hand side, those stripes that contrast frozen bluestone looks really nice against the Momentum Gray body. And also the side scuttle, you'll notice, is a 3D printed part. It has the Untamed edition logo with the stripe design, and it's actually color matched again in Momentum Gray. And on the inside, we have the Mini Yours Highland Green upholstery. And this leather seat is incredibly soft. It is beautiful. And it also has a Momentum Gray stripe that goes around the bolsters across the shoulder and down the bolsters of the other side. And just like before, let's take an expanded view of the interior. So my favorite part of the interior is the interior surface, which is located right there in the center of the dashboard. Has a very cool mountainscape design that's done in green and it has actually a backlit interior surface. So if you are into customizing your interior, you can of course set your ambient lighting control to nearly any color you so choose using a toggle switch on the headliner. And the backlighting in the interior surface will change along with that. And lastly, I just want to mention, again, on the steering wheel, you have the Untamed Edition logo. And just like the Resolute Edition, if you so choose to be electrified, the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle Mini Cooper SE Countryman All-4 can also be had as the Untamed Edition. Now I'm going to turn it over to Michael, who can talk to you a little bit about pricing.
Thank you, Vikash. So as was mentioned earlier, this is the first time that our editions will be paired with a trim line. And for us, for all three of these editions, I should say, it is the iconic trim that we utilize as the base for creating the edition. To take the Resolute, or to get the Resolute edition, basically it is an adder of about $1,000, exactly $1,000 for the Cooper S and the Cooper SE. Similarly, to get the edition on the Clubman, the S and the S All-4 will cost an additional $2,250, while the JCW can be had for $1,500 to get to your edition. The Untamed edition, that was Vikash's favorite, that is simply $1,500 for either the plug-in electric version or the Cooper S version. To simplify all of this, the next slide will show you basically the walk to get from the iconic trim MSRP, adding the edition price to get the total MSRP for the edition.